In this unit, we'll learn about cookies, which the server uses as a sophisticated way to save client data. Cookies are created by the visited websites. They are a sequence of letters and numbers signifying the activity of the client online and remembering it. The purpose of cookies, beyond improving user experience, is to collect information on the client. Inside every cookie, there is a unique ID number for a client. The cookie can save the client's identification, the phone, host, location, email, any information filled in forms on the site, and the transition between pages on the site. The navigation details of clients are saved in those files. Cookie files allow websites to leave client accounts, to save their preferences, and provide local relevant content. For example, when you fill in a password in a specific site, and the site asks whether to save it, and then after confirming the password, it's already saved in the appropriate field for next time. Same with the username or mail or anything else the user has to enter in later stages. The file is stored client-side and managed as we'll see later. One of the uses of cookies as part of improving client experience is saving client state on the server. Let's look at the following scenario, which describes the process of creating a cookie. The customer wants to connect to the Amazon server for the first time, and therefore sends a request to the server. The Amazon server allots a unique ID to the client, stores the ID in the database it runs on this server or another, and sends the ID back to the client in the response message. The client receives the ID and stores it in a cookie file. In the next request to be sent by the client to the Amazon server, the client will attach the saved ID to the request so that the server can identify it and connect it to previous activity on the server. The server responds with the object designed for that client. Because the cookie is saved in long-term memory, then so long as the file isn't deleted, the client can access the server even after a long time, and the server will still identify the client and serve it according to the identification. The browser is the one managing the cookie database. Most of the browsers allow deleting these files by the users. Note that alternatives for client identification by the connection or the IP address are not good ideas, since the connection between client and server disconnects all the time, sometimes even for long stretches of time. Also, the client's IP address changes dynamically. The cookies allow the communication to be state-preserving for the client. There are various uses for cookie files. For example, already approved client permissions, for instance, by SMS or email. The approval will no longer be needed at advanced stages since the server can identify the client as one already approved. A second possibility is shopping cart management. Because the shopping cart is dynamic, the client status changes as the cart fills, so that the customer can, at a later stage, continue the shopping process. Another example is recommendation for the identified client according to the client's behavior and previous actions on the site. For HTTP protocol, the method of cookie management is a significant improvement, since in its basic form, this protocol doesn't save states for customers connecting to the server. Something to consider is using cookies in the context of cybersecurity. It's important to remember that although these files improve user experience, they do, on the other hand, allow websites to learn a lot about their clients, and hostile elements could use these files to do harm. In this unit, we learned about cookie files and how they are used to improve user experience.